Good afternoon folks, welcome back to this episode of Bizzle Haulage. Just a reminder, in case you've slept since the last part, we are on our way from Strasbourg in eastern France, and we just stopped off between Kassel and Hanover. We're on our way through Germany and we're going up through Denmark and then across on the ferry from Denmark all the way up through Iceland, all the way through that twisty windy road, all the way through there and to the new edition of Holmavik on ProMods 2. So we are currently carrying some what looks like hay baling equipment. So let's get on the road, let's get going again. And we've started on a lovely day. Look at the sky, absolutely gorgeous. See, okay there. Oh, it's a little late. I was looking what I was doing. Too busy adjusting the seat. It's just out of the default position. Let's have a look outside, shall we? Absolutely lovely. And my paintwork is shining. This paint job, by the way, in case you haven't seen it before, is what's known as high-tech fascination. It's part of a DLC paint job. Brought a few in. I'm not sure how much the DLC is because I got it as part of the bundle when I bought this game on Steam. But it really is lovely. I mean, this is it's a black base coat with a purple pearlescent, like a bright pink pearlescent in there as well, so it really does shine on a sunny day. In fact, what we'll do is we'll take a photo to document our journey. Photo mode. Here we are. Now you can see that it looks black. And then we move along, and there you go. You can see it start to pop out, the nice bright pink. Some people say pink is quite a girly colour, and I suppose it is, but I think it actually looks really good on this truck, this paint job. When I first painted it this colour, I took it for a drive around the block in the light, and I thought, you know what, I don't like it. I thought it was horrible, to be quite honest. I didn't know what on earth had come over me at first, but then, there we go, that's done. Then, once I carried on driving it, drove it through different lights, I thought, you know what, I do actually think it's kind of nice. And I showed it to one of my friends he doesn't actually play any games like this, but I showed it to my mate, and I said, what do you think to this colour? He says, oh, it's really nice actually. He says, it's absolutely lovely. So I thought, you know what, I'll keep it. And I'm glad I have actually kept it, because it was previously what's that paint job called? Digitised Reality, I think it is. Oh, this is the Digitised Reality. The one I had before was High-Tech Fascination. High-Tech Fascination looks like a computer circuit board. This is the actual like square blocks. I had it as High-Tech Fascination. It was a black pearlescent with like an orangey gold circuit board pattern, and I thought, I fancy a change. I wasn't sure on it anymore. You know, I'm glad I changed it actually. On a day like today, where you've got this light, this kind of weather, it's perfect. Driving a lovely looking truck in beautiful weather. And look at that wind turbine there. And there's been some changes here, just very slight in terms of the actual background. Now, you may have noticed, and I actually forgot to mention this, I downloaded a mod for the interior of this truck. Now, if you've got one of these MP4 actresses, or in fact if you've got any other truck, like a stock SCS Volvo FH or an RJL Scania or whatever, there's a guy I want you to look at, and he does some interior mods, and they're absolutely gorgeous. This one is my favourite of his, followed by the Scania interior. They're absolutely spot on. His name's Alexey P. It's A-L-E-X-E-Y-P. and I'll put a link into his thread on the SCS forums, and you can download his interiors from there. This one is absolutely lovely, and it also brings in an option that I wanted a good while ago, which was to have the leather interior without the wood, because you've got the leather seats from the exclusive interior there. Oh, nearly cut him up. I'll best stay here. You've got the leather seats from the exclusive interior, but you've got, it looks like aluminium from here because of the way the light's hitting, but it's actually black. It's actually matte black trim, and it looks really nice, particularly at night or in like dull light. It looks great. That replaces the wood. Really, really nice move, to be honest. Brilliant interior, and his other ones are really nice as well. In fact, I do recommend, particularly if you have the Actros, the FH, or any Scania, to download them. Brings in high definition instruments as well. The Scania interior, excuse me, brings in the actual realistically styled Scania gauges, so it's not got the stock SCS ones, so it's just an extra step to add even more realism. So do have a look at these interiors. They are well worth downloading. I think they're about 150 meg or something like that from what I remember. I might be remembering things wrong there, but they're sizable downloads, but they are well worth it. And of course, completely free of charge. Excellent additions to the game. Really are. Lovely, lovely quality. We're on our way through Germany now, and fuel economy getting better. I think we're probably doing about 12.5 miles per gallon now, something along those lines, roughly around there. I'm not sure, I wouldn't like to say for certain. I'll have to look at a converter just to see what we're actually doing, but I think it's something around there. The road's busy enough, quiet, it's just a nice journey. Let's have a look outside. Going pretty well so far actually, this journey. Truck's looking great. It's down there, it's on the road. A little bit stuttery through Germany now. Let's get back in the cab. There we go. Get back in and then we'll just carry on. I think I can put it here. Fields with cows in. Lovely. My hanging shoes. That is part of another mod as well. Brings in some different options in terms of what you actually can hang up. So it's all new items. So you got new styles of like mascot you can hang up. So on the stock mod, the actual SCS official mod, you've got like your disco ball and your skull and whatever you can actually hang up there. This one brings in things like little stuffed toys, and this guy's gonna box me in, isn't he, when I need to pull across? No, he's not. Thank you. I don't think I could have come across then. I don't think I could have started, carried on. No, I couldn't. Goes across the actual road there. Sometimes in this style of junction, which is a clover leaf, you've got a road running alongside, so if you do get boxed in there or whatever, I mean it's not primarily designed for that, but if you do get boxed in, you can just run along the side there. That road's actual purpose is just to get everybody onto the actual loop slip roads of the cloverleaf without actually going onto the main carriageway of the road. It just improves the actual traffic flow a bit, just separates the traffic, so you've got your turn-in traffic away from stuff that's actually going straight on. As for cloverleafs in the UK, I think there's only one. Or is there two? No, I think there's one, and it's in Redditch, which is a town just south of Birmingham in the Midlands in the UK. There used to be a couple more, I think they got demolished and replaced with other stuff. That's what I've read on the internet anyway, over the years. Hamburg looks a little bit different. This road's not quite as, I'm sure it's not quite as green as it used to be. Then you got the tunnels as you go through Hamburg itself. This proper industrial looking landscape. Look at that. Oh, window. Look at that bridge, off that bridge. It's just big. Down that port kind of way. It's amazing. Container ship as well. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant to see that kind of thing. And it carries on. Another ship over there, I think, and like an oil refinery. We're going down here. I think this is, yeah, I think it is a little bit different from what it used to be. Let's see where we're going. And we're out. Change back up again. You do get the sense that you're actually in a proper, real kind of simulation, rather than just in this kind of barren landscape which has nothing really in it. Like sometimes you get that impression with OMSI, but in this, it's really is nice. What's that? Road sign, lane being closed, I think. Come on, coach. Oh, okay, actually, wrong sign. Actually, that might be a bit of a bug. It said that this lane was closing, whereas it actually isn't. It was the one on the left-hand side. The outside lane. Excuse me. Here we go, back through the countryside again now. That little church over there. That's nice. You can see, blimey, you see the pylons in the distance. Really is a lot of effort that goes into ProMods. Certain parts of it really do feel almost like the real place they're modelled on. Absolutely gorgeous. This weather just adds to it. Absolutely lovely drive. Brilliant so far. There's some more turbines. Turbines, you don't see as many of them in the UK as you do on continental Europe. There are a lot more than there used to be, like 10 years ago, for example. Oh, I'm going into the back of him. He needs to speed up, or I need to slow down. Creep in there. Be okay there. Oh, there's a car pulling a trailer. That is part of Jazzy Cat's latest mods. The only thing is, the cars pulling the trailers seem to be going a little bit slower than they should be. And so, if you get stuck behind one, or you get stuck behind a truck which is stuck behind one, then you can end up slowing down quite rapidly. So I think it's actually using the sound. I'm sure it's using the sound of the truck. Gorgeous. Hello again, everybody. Right, I don't know what happened then. I think when Cortana kicked in, I'm sure Action recorded that actually. It stopped the recording because it went out of the video. It went out of the game mode, so I have kind of missed out a little bit of the video. So I am sorry about that. I didn't actually realise it had stopped recording until about 2 or 3 minutes after that happened. So I shall do some editing, and this is the result of my editing. Almost seamless, if I haven't told you. Anyway, we are now just gone past. I think we've just gone past Padborg. Let's have a look. Once it loads, it's not happy. Yes, we've just gone past Padborg, so well, we've just gone into Denmark, so we haven't got too far left to go, and then it's the 48-hour ferry, or however long it takes, to Iceland, and then through onto Holmavik. So, back on track again. Hopefully that'll be the only thing that goes wrong in this video. Still lovely. Let's see how long we got left to go. Keyboards. Oh, it's working again now. Sometimes it packs up when I play this, don't know why. 6 hours 32. We've got plenty of time to get through Denmark. Lovely landscape. I'm not sure what it's like on this side of Denmark now since ProMods 2. I'm sure there'll be some changes in terms of landscape. So we shall explore them. As you can see, it's coming up, the map's going grey, so I haven't discovered this part yet. So this is a new edition. What's that sign for? Like it was a sign for an old tourist attraction or something. (1,821 miles). I think it's about 1,400 miles on the ferry. Something along those lines. So have a look outside, shall we? I did do a look outside, and just after I did it, that was when I realised that Action had stopped recording. I do use, that's the program I use, mirrorless Action. It's alright for what I need. It's $13.99, something like that, so it's cheaper than a capture card, and it does a very decent job, to be fair. This is all new. This wasn't here before. Yeah, it does a decent job, and I did actually start talking about the PC I had. PC I record on is my own. It's not like a separate one or anything. It's my own PC, so I use it for other bits and pieces, some web browsing, etc. It is a Lenovo H3050. It's got a, I think it's a dual or quad core i5. I think it's mid-range i5. I'll look up proper specs. It's got a 1TB 7200 RPM hard drive, and it's a pretty decent computer. It's fine. Never really had any problems with it. I've had it now nearly a year. In fact, it's a year next week that I've had it for, and I don't need to get in that late. It's been great. No problems. Runs nicely. It's pretty quiet actually. It does make a bit of a noise when it starts up, but I can forgive it for that. Performance is very good. It's got 8GB of RAM as well, so it's never kind of slow. Never been slow for me. I have got Windows 10 on, as you may have seen before Cortana ruined everything. It came with Windows 8.1, a Lenovo install, so it had a load of junk with it, so I gave it 2 or 3 months. I had a Windows 8 disk, with a original stock Windows 8 install on there. So I installed that onto it because at the time Windows 8 came out, I was in university. I was actually working on a placement whilst I was in university, and I downloaded Windows 8, burnt it onto a disk because in the UK at least, I'm sure this is the same case over Europe and elsewhere in the world, Microsoft had at the time, they've still got it I think, just think the name might be different now, the DreamSpark initiative, which basically gave away copies of Windows and other Microsoft programs to students. If you had an academic email address, then you could download the new Windows 8. I think it's the same for 10 now. So downloaded that. This was a good while ago, and I just decided to wipe the 8.1 install on this, put 8 on, and I did all the updates because I installed it a few months before 10 came out, and which took 6 hours to do all the updates. And then I put Windows 10 on, and it's been great ever since. It's been a quicker PC. And it was pretty fast before, but with 8 or 10 on there, it is noticeably quicker, I think personally. Runs better. It's not as clunky. Excuse me. So we're doing okay for time. We've got lots of time left. 123 hours, and we're due to be there in 62. So if we get to Iceland and it's dark, then what I'll do is I'll pull over and sleep, so you can drive through Iceland in the day, because driving through it in the day is much nicer than driving through it at night, because you get to see all the scenery in Iceland. If you drive through during the day, you miss out on all that during the night. It's starting to cloud over now, so yeah, it was previously a lovely day in Germany, and now we're going into Denmark. It's getting miserable by the looks of things. In fact, it might rain by the looks of those clouds. Whoa, can never tell any. Go, that's it. Get back inside before we cause an accident. Let's have a look where we are again. Oh, we're nearly there now. It's a pretty short journey. Past Aalborg, and then through to Herstals, and then we get on the ferry. It's a lovely kind of rural landscape there. You can see some kind of, what's like a farm, perhaps a dairy farm there in the background, and lots of nice fields over there. It's a lovely looking country. You go through it like this, Denmark. I've never been there. It's on my list of places to go. But I'm sure one day I will get to go there. I would love to, actually. I'd love to go and see what it's like. Yeah, Denmark, Sweden, Norway and Finland are all on my list of places to go, and Iceland. Just looking at the fuel economy, which is extremely impressive, and I've just noticed as well that I've used less than a quarter of a tank, and I think I've done roughly miles maybe. So fuel economy is shaping up to be quite impressive. Probably about 400, 450 maybe now, think about it again. So that is a very good fuel return. Was that lightning? It looked like it. Right. I think I'm going to have to put the wipers on in a minute because it looks like it's going to start raining here in Denmark. Fart control. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh dear, fart control. I'm presuming if Danish is anything like Germany, fart with a H, F-A-H-R-T, means exit. So I'm presuming that fart in Danish without the H means exit. And it said control, so exit control. Maybe it's some kind of what's known over here as an ANPR camera, which is an automatic number plate recognition camera. So they can read the characters of your number plate, and what the British police use those for is to see if a car is taxed, because over here you have to tax a car. I mean, in a lot of European countries, car tax doesn't exist. I think they tax fuel more, or they charge for roads like France does, for example. France's motorways are tolled because that's the way the French government collect money from motorists. But over in the UK, there is a system called vehicle excise duty, which is also known as car tax. Basically, what you do is every 6 or 12 months, it used to be, but now you can pay for it monthly. You pay a fee depending on how much CO2 your car emits, or your vehicle, because everybody pays it basically, unless you have an electric car or you have a particularly efficient car. That's another thing. You pay a fee, and then you can drive your car. And there used to be in the UK a thing called tax discs, and these were different coloured circular pieces of paper with the date of expiry on, and it would have some details about the car, so it would say what model it is, or what make of car it is, how long it was valid for, the tax, and how much basically the car tax was for that car. Oh my god, that bridge is a bit low. That's the UK system. But now, as of, I think it was April, no, it was last October. October 2014 in the UK, you don't have to display a tax disc, because basically they don't print them anymore to save money. And basically you still tax your car, you just do it online, and there's like an online record of it. So the ANPR cameras are used to see if cars are taxed, if there's any outstanding like arrest warrants, for example, against the owner of the vehicle. So if, say for example, somebody has a car and they're involved in a crime, the police would record that against that person. That person's associated with the car, and then if the car's seen going through an ANPR camera, then it basically flags up a warning for the police saying this person's been spotted and they are going through the ANPR camera and this is where they were last seen. that's the way it works basically. So I think we've gone on from talking about farts to arresting people in the UK. Many different areas are covered here on Bizzle Haulage. In fact, what I'm going to do as well is, before we get on the ferry, is I'm going to repair my truck. I'm going to get these tyres sorted out. Let's have a look. See how... Come on. See how damaged they are now. 8% now. Yeah, 8%. Yep. let's pull in here. Let's get the truck repaired. So then we are ready to go on the other side with a decent set of tyres. They are a little bit fragile, these tyres, I've got to say, but they are very good. The fuel returns are well worth it. Service, yeah, you see, it's all. I've had a couple of little bumps in this truck. It's all about the tyres. 8% tyre damage, £1,110 to repair. Ooh. 121 hours left. We have got an awful lot of time spare. There's a couple of MENs here. That will be one of my future videos. I'm driving the Euro 6 TGX, which is a mod by Madster. It's a lovely mod. I've got one of the older versions installed, so I'll download the most recent one. Oops. Lots of indication we're not actually going anywhere. I'll download the most recent one and we'll do a journey in that. Compare that MAN to this this Merc. Nearly there now, nearly at the ferry. Right, did they? No, I thought they'd changed the approach to this. It looked a little bit different from a distance, but there's no actual changes. And here we are. It's probably one of the longest ferry services in the world. Certainly in Europe, I'm sure it is. Handbrake, lights, engine off. 45 hours. Now, I've looked up to see if this ferry exists in real life, and sure enough it does. There's a variation of it anyway. It takes 68 hours to get from Denmark to the Mercedes four-door, I think that is. Again, if I've upset anybody Iceland, I do apologise. It only sails once a week, takes 68 hours, and I'm sure I found a cost of it, but I can't remember what it is now. But yeah, it's a very long distance to go. So we're going to embark, £2,358. And we will end up in Iceland and we'll see what's different there compared to the older version. Just wait for it to load. It does sometimes take a little bit of time. Right, it does look slightly different. I'm sure that way out has got a bit of a hill to it now. I'm sure it didn't have one before. Anyway, 541 miles to go until we get to the northern tip of Iceland. And we've arrived at a decent time. And let's have a little look. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is absolutely amazing. In fact, let's get the camera out. I am actually blown away by that. Oh, you can see the colour there. Look at that. I'm actually pretty speechless. It's stunning. Let's the blur down. Let's get the lamppost out of the shot. We'll keep the other stuff in. Look at that. Amazing. Capture. I think what we'll do is we'll pull up for the night just round the corner. I'll break the video there, and then we'll do a video through Iceland, and hopefully Cortana won't interrupt. Now this is different, and I can actually pull out here. In the earlier versions of this map, there was a bit of a bug with the traffic density, so you could pull out here and you'll be waiting for a very long time for a break in the traffic. I'll pull in here because I haven't discovered this part before either, so it's just turning in. Oh, lovely. What a place to take a rest as well. I am a little bit envious of those truckers that get to come here. I am just a little bit envious, I have to say. Oh, was that a whale? Oh, it is. It looks like one. I'm sure they weren't in here before, in this game before. Let's just pull up. Look at that. Anyway, I am going to get some rest here, and we'll start the video again in part 3, and we'll carry on the journey, and we'll go through Iceland, and we'll go up to Holmavik. So thank you very much for watching this part 2 of my trip to Iceland. I'll see you all again very soon for part 3. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more trucking content. I'll see you all again very soon. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.